Hello, everybody, and welcome to another show from the Toon Review YouTube channel. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. I am joined tonight by Alex, by Billy, and the returning from her deathbed, Lady Sam. And now, you can tell, judging by her hair, that she's not feeling the greatest.
Honestly,
anyway,
I knew you were going to say that. You need to get in your box, because honestly, I'm like a bear out of hibernation. Do not prod the bear. Behave yourself, right?
Well, you were on Friday night in the chat. Need we say any more? But anyway, if you do enjoy tonight's show, guys, please give it the thumbs up as usual. And if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. You can support the channels in the usual two ways. First of all, via membership, which is the join button just underneath the four of us, and of course super chats, which is the $ underneath the live chat, and that will guarantee your comments to be read out live on the show. Good evening, colleagues.
Good evening, and good evening to all of us out there in Viewerland.
Now, we were expecting a guest tonight, but unfortunately, there is some kind of, I don't know whether it's communication or technical issues, but we haven't managed to get him online tonight from Georgia, but we will try and get him on another show. However, that will not stop us going through a transfer show, but a different kind of one tonight. Alex has planned players that are maybe out on loan, or how players are doing at their certain clubs this season. So there's a lot to get into tonight as well. But yeah, Sam, it's good to have you back.
Is it? Well, tell us that at the end of the show.
Well, yeah, I'll ask again at 8 o'clock. There's plenty of time left. As you can see, Alex has upgraded to a boom arm, which means he knows when his microphone's on now. Well, Billy is Billy. That's not a bad thing, by the way. Everybody loves Billy, apart from Paul Gallant.
He's not very much now.
Because
really?
He doesn't play guitar on this show. I mean, how dare you, Billy? I mean, the fact that you don't play guitar is a disgrace.
I also don't bother horses or do magic tricks. It's amazing, really, isn't it?
You don't bother horses?
Well, some YouTube content creators are horse botherers, definitely.
Botherers?
Well, one is. Benji!
Okay. But just a message to Mr. Gallant. Please don't call out Newcastle United channels. I mean, I think you named you named all of them in your little walk down the street when you're on the way to see Benji the horse. Anyway, don't call us out for not playing music and not playing guitar or not sitting there on cryptocurrency. We're a Newcastle United dedicated channel, as are the other wonderful Newcastle United channels. So just because we don't play, Billy doesn't sit there playing on his banjo, right? And we don't sit there working out cryptocurrencies or writing songs that we can't sing properly. You know what it is? Go ahead, mate. You're not a dedicated Newcastle United channel, so you do what you please on your channel, matey. But please don't call out us Newcastle United channels for not doing the same scrumpet crap that you do, okay? So if you're going to call us out, contact us first, eh? Have a bit of manners and say that, you're going to call us out because, you've named Billy about 25 times in different videos for not playing his banjo on the Toon Review.
And that's actually wrong, because I've strummed banjo a few times.
Yes, you have certainly done that, Billy. And also, you know what? You see on your video, you're going on about, I don't just sit there predicting scores and stuff like that. I mean, how dare you, mate? You don't know any of the work that goes into this channel or that the other guys put work into their channels. I'm afraid you look at a proper aggressive little old man on that video, and maybe that's why you've only just got 1,000 subscribers, because people don't like what you do. Anyway, let's move on, shall we, guys?
Yes,
Martin Watson, thank you very much for your super chat. First, I think you and the team should do a Christmas song for charity. The Christmas second, when we are going to get a second, when are we going to get Gallant on your show? I think it's pretty obvious that what I've just said is never. Keith Truscott, thank you for yours. How's your banjo tonight, Billy?
Very totally strung.
Jeez.
I just love horse botherers. I really do. It's a new one on me.
What day is it, by the way? Is it Friday? Already,
I have no idea.
It's good to be back on the
I
Toon
think
review.
you bring the best out in Billy Sam when you're on the show. I think
I think
this,
you would.
Bring the best out in
You're
everyone.
You're a good influence on me, Sam.
absolutely. Anyway, Alex, what kind of show are we in for tonight? What players are we going to be showing?
Well, it's having a look at Vakhtang Salia, the new young Georgian wonder kid that we have signed. We'll also have a look at Pivas, who we've signed as well, who is out on loan. So the two new kids essentially from Serbia. No, we're not merging the countries. That's a bad idea. Serbia and Georgia. And then the others that we know a little bit better in Joe White, Jamie Miley. And even though he's probably not going to come back, we will have a look at Jamal Lewis in Brazil, who, again, that happened, by the way. Jamal Lewis is playing for Sao Paulo in Brazil.
It did happen.
Fair play.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, Guppy Verk, thank you for your first ever super chat on the channel. Happy 61st birthday, Harjid from Coventry, enjoying a whiskey and celebrating our triumphant win over Arsenal up the Toon. Some more Coventry, Coventry-based people. Sam, let's just get your quick verdict on the Arsenal game. Of course, I know you were in the chat last night, but that was the Newcastle that we know and love, wasn't it?
It certainly was. And if you'd bothered to read any of my chats, I was there with the viewers, with the chatters, putting in me scores, giving me summary as to why. You did not read a single one of my comments out. Not one. I agreed with Alex all the way through, by the way, on everything that he said. And you were there yapping away in the background.
That's probably why I didn't read them out, Sam.
Yeah, do you know what? That had been it. You're absolutely right. It was fantastic. Back to winning ways. I hope. I'm still on the fence with Eddie, however. I'm putting it out there and saying it.
I don't like you two tonight. I mean,
to be fair, we just had to listen to 10 minutes of Paul Gallant, so I think we're allowed a little dig.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can't defend our channel, can I, Alex? Is that what you're saying? You know, when people call us out, I have a right to reply. Do I not? Anyway.
I know. Could you imagine just rising above it and not acknowledging? Can you imagine? Wow. What would that be like?
Listen, I have plenty to rise above. Don't you worry about that. But I rise above a lot. Anyway, now, Alex, who's the first one we're going to look at tonight?
Well, it is the Georgian Vakhtang Salia. He's going to be the first one. Did you want to screen share now?
Well, that would be nice, yes.
There you
go. Okay.
Here he is.
Now, this is the guy that's signing for us when he's 18. Is that right? Yes. That's
indeed. So he was only 17 years old on the 30th of August. So he's still a wee little baby. There he is. If you want a better
jawline like that. That's insane.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So playing for the men's team. He's been playing for the men's team for a while. And he's only he was 16 basically when he started playing. He's 181 centimeters, so he's 5'11", so he's like Joe Willock height, and he can header better than Joe Willock as well. And he's just turned 17, which I mean most 17-year-olds can head better than Joe Willock, to be fair. But yeah, there he is. He's looking rather up for it. So let's go off. Hang on. Got to work my graphics out. There we go. So here is the little graphic that Georgian Footy has put up. So Georgian Footy hopefully will get on at some point to discuss Salia. So for people who don't know, he didn't cost us too much. He was I think about 300,000-ish. I don't know if that's in English biscuits or euros or some foreign kind of. I don't know. But he was money. He wasn't in the millions. He was very cheap. It was almost like a Garan Qual kind of fee. So we've got him from Dinamo Tbilisi. I'm going with that pronunciation.
It's Dynamo
which
Tbilisi,
is the
Dynamo Tbilisi
capital.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit. I mean, this is something that I was going to maybe sort of challenge. So Luca, by the way, is his name from Georgian Footy. I was going to challenge him on that a little bit. I'm sure most of you would agree.
Speak of the devil.
Do we have we might have a possible guest a little bit late.
Luca.
How you doing, guys?
Good evening.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
Well,
We're just discussing the youngster that we've just signed.
Perfect, mate. Perfect. I think I should tilt my. I'm in my car. If you guys can probably notice. So I think I should tilt my camera a bit. Yeah,
that's better. Yeah,
there we go.
Sweet.
Spot on. We're just before Alex breaks into questions, just got a couple of super chats. Martin Brophy, thank you very much for yours. Could we look at Leif Davis? Good backup for Lewis Hall. Keith Truscott, thank you for yours. The question is will he actually kick a ball for us because of the criminal PSR shit? Interesting, Alex.
Well, I mean, that's a nice little segue to ask Luca, isn't it, about the PSR stuff. This is something that he's written in his post about where he may potentially end up in the coming years. Now, obviously, for Newcastle fans, that probably makes us a little bit frustrated in reading that because we would like him to progress with us because we want to be an elite club. But there is the potential. We thought that about Yankuba Minte, and of course, he disappeared. So what are your thoughts on this, Luca? Do you think this is a player that could develop into what we want, or do you think we may develop and sell for the profit?
Yeah, to be honest, when I tweeted about it, basically meant that in terms of the next couple of years from now, where he's definitely not of a caliber to be a part of the rotation right now, I think. And we've got to be realistic, he's 17, come from the Georgian league, so obviously he needs to develop a bit more, he needs to improve a lot of aspects of his game. And by ending up somewhere, basically meant the fact that he could have maybe go on loan. It's similar to Minte, who went to Feyenoord, which is a big team in Holland, great league for youngsters to develop. And if he follows a similar route, I think it should be beneficial for both parties. And in terms of his potential, I definitely believe that he has what it takes to be part of the first team eventually, maybe in the next few years. But for the foreseeable future, I think he just needs to just get the game time, get some minutes, get some experience abroad, especially because you also have to consider the fact that having a different culture is a bit difficult for a youngster to adapt to. I think Garen Kuhl signed for you guys, didn't he last season? And he went on a couple of loans. He went to Motherwell or Hearts, I can't remember for sure, and then he's now in Holland in the Eredivisie. So it's definitely something to be to give a bit more context, so to speak, because youngsters need time to develop, and hopefully he's going to be part of Newcastle's first team in the next 2, 3, 4 years, so to speak.
So it's something that I mentioned before you joined us, that he's reasonably well physically developed for his age. He's already 5'11", which is 181 centimeters. He scored a lot of headers in a lot of the stuff I've watched of him so far. Quite physically strong for his age, shrugs off tackles. So considering he's only 17, potentially a loan or two, and a bit of training with the coach. But he looks, there's a lot of players you watch at that age where it's a gamble because you're just waiting and hoping they develop physically. That maybe they never do, and you can kind of see that he's probably a sure thing physically. He's already there. It's just more about, can he develop his game technically and rise to the standard? I think is that a fair assumption?
I'd say so, because typically in Georgia, one of the difficulties our youngsters have is that although they might be quite good on the ball, physically they don't tend to play the game for 65, 70, 75, 80 minutes just because they're not built well, which is, again, issues in terms of young coaching and stuff. Where Salia, he's got, like, you could see, he looks like a mature player, isn't he? Like, good builds, quite big of a muscle mass as well. So I do believe if he kind of polishes a few things about him, especially decision making, which is, I think, one of his biggest sort of weaknesses, as I pointed out in one of my threads. He's like a ready to go product in the end, and hopefully he will do that either directly in Newcastle or anywhere on loan. As I said before, maybe 1 or 2 loan spells somewhere else might benefit.
It's interesting.
Paul, you got any questions for him?
Well, it's just I was going to ask Billy and Sam, because obviously there's a lot of comments coming in regarding the likes of Kuol, etc. And Eddie's kind of not really, he's not really famed since he's been at Newcastle for bringing a lot of youngsters through. Obviously, Miley is an exception. Would you have faith, Billy, that if this kid is good enough, that Eddie would give him a chance around the first team?
No, 100% I would, yeah. I think Eddie Howe's not done it because the only one that's worth doing it with is Miley. And we've all kind of spoke about Sanusi, people like that. But if they're good enough, they're old enough, they're good, young enough, they're good enough, aren't they? Or what they're saying is. And this kid, if he's physically right now, I mean, it's only the technical bits, which I mean, I can remember Tbilisi in the late 70s, early 80s. They were technically fantastic side. Some of the players I'd played from then, the Shengadis, the Kipianis, them kind of players. If they kind of follow that in that tradition, then he's going to be something special, I think.
Now, of course, Sam, we've had a famous Georgian play for us, in the name of Ketspire, who was quite frankly a nutcase. But that's, I guess, why the Newcastle fans fell in love with him.
Was that a question or a statement, Paul? Like he was a nutcase.
He's a good player, though, wasn't he?
Good. Aye. Anyway, I'll add on to the question that you did ask Billy about him. So I don't think we can lose with that type of investment. Like, he was relatively cheap for us to buy. We've obviously seen something special in him, but yes, Eddie is very protective over getting players around the squad. Oh, he's gone. Thank goodness. What happened? Finally sent him away. I personally think that it's worth taking a punt on young, interesting players like this. I think that if we can get him around the first team, then that'll be great experience. We've already started to see that with the likes of Sanusi coming in as well through the academies. So I think loan spells are fantastic. Prove your worth, develop a little bit. I think he does the right thing by guarding these, because we have a duty of care to look after them physically, and make sure that they're going to be up to the task, because we don't want to send them out on the pitch to have confidence shot to shit, essentially.
I think that's why ultimately Eddie Howe's been very careful with a lot of the youngsters. Very slow to integrate, whether it's a new transfer who's older or a youngster. He is very careful about integration into the first team. Even if he gives them a lot of chances in pre-season, mid-season, they don't really get a look in unless it's absolutely necessary. Like, we talked about this only yesterday, that he would rather play Isak basically with no legs than bring on a different striker or a youth striker. The fact that he's willing to run players into the ground that much instead of making a substitution, maybe he just feels the quality isn't there yet and people aren't ready. But we need to make up for 10-20 years of negligence in the academy, and this is a good start. Unfortunately, we're not going to produce fantastic sort of players from the region immediately. It's going to take a bit of time. So we need to supplement the academy by bringing in some very talented youngsters, and this guy does look like one. I mean, I've got your thread up here, Luca, where he scored his top flight debut at 16 years old and 6 months with a header as well. He seems to score quite a lot of headers. He's got some good timing and some good physicality for the headers in the box, even though he wears the number 7, which a lot of people confuse with the Kvaratskhelia number. Everybody thinks he might be a Kvaratskhelia regen, of course, from Napoli. He seems a bit different. He seems like he's got a bit more physicality and a lot more of a box threat and an aerial presence as well.
Yeah, for sure. Kvaratskhelia has always been that type of guy who's just a flair winger, likes to carry the ball, likes to dribble around, creating chances. Whereas Salia, even if you have a snippet of his Georgian under 17s and under 19 games, he's basically a guy as a number 9, maybe as a false 9 as well at times. Great chances for him, for others as well, but just typically scoring the goals. And you could say he's definitely got the instinct of it, because a couple of headers he scored, a couple of finishes he had for the club and for the nation as well. He's definitely got that sort of number 9 kind of esque movement around him, and physically is definitely ready to play as a number 9. Not maybe as a sole number 9 in a system where you're not really favoured as someone who's going to be just inside the box, but has got the ability. But on the ball as well, he can carry the ball. He can obviously beat a man or two and create chances for his teammates as well. So he's a mix of basically everything right now.
Well, just looking at his recent games as well for the club, he seems to be making appearances for the U19s in the UEFA Youth League for Dinamo Tbilisi as well. And he's playing against like Montenegrin teams and different like that. So he's getting a little bit of interesting European experience. But then he's also playing for the first team on top of that and doing quite well. I mean, he scored a pen in the Youth League, and then on the 19th of October, which was only a couple of weeks ago, he scored a double against Tel Aviv as well. So
Yeah,
that
he
was
scored
very,
a header.
very recently.
Yep.
So I've got a couple of stills from that game. If I bring this up. So this is an incoming corner for him. So straight on his head. And he seems to have scored quite a few like this from the stuff I've watched from him. He definitely seems to be able to score from this position. We're not overly good at set pieces at the moment. And then the second goal was a little bit different. It was from...
It was basically like a tap-in, if I remember correctly. The second one
it was a tap-in, yeah. He basically, somebody had a shot and he was very alert to it and on-rushed and finished it. But all the defenders, so it's the guy literally in the white, just peeling off this last defender on the left there. The defenders fell asleep and Salia was very alert to it, preempted the rebound, that the goalkeeper was going to push it away into that path. So he seems quite... he's got good instincts as a striker, or at least an attacker. He seems to be in the right places at the right time, good timing. And I think maybe decision-making is a bit unfair, saying it's a weakness. Maybe decision-making on the ball, but kind of sniffing out danger. He seems like he's definitely got that. So he's got the natural instincts that, from what it seems so far, you've obviously seen a lot more of him in the flesh than we have. So,
fair enough.
Is there anything else you...
He's 17 years of age, isn't he? I mean, it's something that's going to... You know, you're not going to have every kind of attribute you need at 17. Experience brings you, them kind of decisions-making abilities, really, isn't it? So,
yeah, again, you also has to be considered the fact that Dinamo Tbilisi right now are in a rather rebuilding state, basically, and the coaching, they've changed a couple of coaches, they've changed the whole... They've sold, I think, 24 players this January, so that doesn't really help.
24?
Yeah. Well, our season starts in March and ends in December, so that's why it's kind of more players going in winter rather than in the summer. But just because how sort of unstable the whole situation at the club is, he just moves around. He plays as a winger, both left and right. Plays as a striker, second striker. So that I'd say inconsistency in his positioning as well as the environment around him also has to be considered. But as a whole, yeah, as you mentioned before, like at 17, you can't really be the complete package. Surely you have to learn a few things. Yeah, you have to learn a few things, and as much as he plays and as much experience as he gets, he can only get better from there.
Luca, from what you've seen of him, what's sort of positionally, what position do you think he's currently favouring? Because you've said he's quite diverse at the moment. They're trying some different things. Where's he sort of favouring right now?
I'd personally prefer him as I know it's not really a case anymore, at least in the Premier League, have like two-man striker partnership, but as like an inside forward who is not just like a winger who's going to run down the ball and just cross it in, just who slightly moves inside, he can finish off the ball off the left and off the right as well. So I think as a right forward, if that's a position, so to speak, I guess that, and just behind a striker as well. I think it does quite well, just because of the attributes that he has. He can run, he can shrug a man off the ball, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can pass as well. So he's got a bit of everything, but again, he has to be considered what kind of setup he's in. So that will be shown, I think, next summer when he moves away from Dinamo Tbilisi when he turns 18 in August. So that's quite highly anticipated right now, to be fair.
Foxy, one of our regulars, often gives us some decent insights in transfer shows, saying shadow striker suits him best. Is that where you would potentially see him playing?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind. Just behind maybe the main centre forward or something like that. So he definitely has got the capabilities. Again, that depends on the setup and the system he's in.
So if we were to bring him on loan, then. If we were to send him out on loan, obviously once he arrives. So for people who don't know, I'm not sure if we've made this clear. It's been a bit patchy, the intro to the show. So he's joined us, but he's not joining. He's not kind of joining the club officially until his 18th birthday in August of next year. So he's going to stay in Georgia and complete another year there, and hopefully we'll learn a lot and grow in that league. And then I think it's likely he will maybe get if he's joining at the end of the summer, then probably just going to go straight out on loan. He probably won't have time to be involved in the preseason. He'll just go out on a loan. Where would you see him getting the most benefit loan wise? I mean, we typically send people either within England or to the Netherlands. Really, has been the only places apart from the one in Scotland.
Well, I think some sort of bureaucracy also comes into case here, because it's difficult for for Georgians to get working permit in England.
Mm.
Unless they've got like certain amount of caps for the youth national teams. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving pieces. But if I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him staying in England for in Championship, maybe even League One, just to get like a feel of the culture, just to get the feel how the game is played over there. But I think Ghent from Belgium wanted him last summer as well, when he was 16 at the time. Real Betis from La Liga also was one of the teams interested in him. So if he moves to Belgium, the Netherlands, somewhere centrally Europe, where typical places where players tend to develop, basically no-name players get some more play time and get experience in top level football. I think those two countries are probably the best suited for him to grow as a footballer and mature as a footballer, so to speak. So Netherlands, Belgium, wouldn't mind Germany, the second division even, because it's good league, it's good quality league, and with a lot of dynamics in it. So I think those 2 or 3 countries or leagues are probably best suited for him.
Mm. Well, thank you very much for joining us and your input,
Cheers,
Luca.
mate.
It's fantastic having you on. We have been linked with other Georgians previously, so I'm sure it won't be the last time we'll have you on.
Yeah,
But we're going to move on to some other players. So if everybody in the chat could say thank you to Luca for joining us, and we'll see you again soon, buddy. All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Luca.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Luca.
Bye.
Okay, so that was Luca. Paul is okay, guys. He's just to update you on him. He's just had a bit of a tough day, so with illness and things. So he's just gonna sit this one out for the rest of the show. So, but he is well. Well, that was good having a guest on, a different insight onto a player.
Yeah,
I do feel very positive about Salia, to be fair, and hopefully we don't end up having to sell him for PSR reasons, Billy.
but
be nice.
if we have to, don't we? I mean, it's not a bad thing, and it's win-win for us, isn't it? 17-year-old kid with the physical attributes, what he's got, you'd hope he'd turn into some kind of world beater. But I mean, there's money in them players for us, so yeah, maybe at some point he'll grace the black and white stripes. But if he doesn't and has to be sold on, then I think it's win-win.
And you know what? Maybe we know that this is the type of game that Mitchell likes to play. He likes to look at these young prospects and think, right, what could we do? But again, do we have the infrastructure? That's the question for me. Do we have the infrastructure not only to support our academy locally, but the international structure? So making sure that, like to your point, Alex, that they're going to the right loan opportunities, whether they be domestic or internationally as well. How are we getting the most out of these players? Not only because they could be potentially coming to Newcastle, but how can we turn up the volume on what they could potentially be worth?
Yeah, I mean, even though it would be quite frustrating to lose him if it doesn't quite work, in these kinds of situations, profit is profit. And we've got to get into that habit of, Man City's do it, Chelsea's do it, of just producing good talent, and finding them at the right age bracket as well, and profiling them well. This is why we're kind of trying to improve scouting. We've brought in Paul Mitchell as a sporting director whose primary kind of expertise is scouting and recruitment. That is what he is, first and foremost. So, yeah. And no, I don't enjoy hosting as much as you think, guys, for the comments in the chat. Paul does a very good job. There's a lot of different things and moving parts to go on. It's easier for me when I can just formulate an opinion and wait for my turn. So there's a lot of different things to do. Shall we have a look at another player, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So let's go for, who shall we go for? I think we'll get one out of the way. We'll get an old school.
Oh, please, I'm on the edge of my seat now. We're going to have a look at the one you want to get out of the way.
We're going to Brazil by any chance?
We are indeed going to Brazil. So for anybody who's out the loop, we do actually have a player out on loan in Brazil. Here he is.
There he is.
Mr. Jamal Lewis, who's
lad.
been quite an important figure in the last 2 years in all of our preseason games, really. And every year, Eddie Howe kind of makes us believe that maybe there's a plan, and then we just don't see him again. He just vanishes. So, yeah, finally, I think it's kind of coming to an end for Jamal Lewis and black and white shirts, which is a shame. He is 26 years old, so he's kind of peak age for a fullback as a naturally left-footed fullback. But he has gone out on loan until the end of the year, and his contract, I believe, is up, unless I've forgotten and it's different. I'm pretty sure he's out of contract.
Yeah.
So he's there at the moment. He seems to be putting in reasonable performances, and I can't see any little injury icons there. So, shall we scroll down and have a look? How's he doing? So he played for Northern Ireland in September. He then played for Sao Paulo in a 1-0 victory as well in Brasileiro Serie A and did okay. Where is he? Not in the starting 11 of any team. Oh, he came on as a substitute. Oh, lovely. So not ideal for him. He was then benched for a number of performances, and yeah, it doesn't look like he's really starting. What about against Corinthians? No, he got loaned out. Was he on the bench? Yeah, he was on the bench. He came on in the 84th minute. Bless him. What about the next game? Deary me. Oh, he started a game. So 5th of October, we had to wait. So 5th of October, and then he went and played for Northern Ireland in a 0-0 draw against Belarus. He was on the bench for a 5-0 victory against Bulgaria, and then his last fixture was on the 27th of October. Did he start? Okay, so 2 starts on the trot. He is playing for Sao Paulo, who do surprisingly have Lucas Moura, formerly of Tottenham Hotspur and PSG. So they've got a few blasts from the past in this team. So I bet you never thought you would see Jamal Lewis backing up Lucas Moura on a left wing somewhere, but it has happened, and it is in Sao Paulo. And funnily enough,
how long did we have him on contract for, though? It felt like 100 years.
A long time.
A really long time. We've probably done it.
It's because Liverpool was sniffing after him, and we needed that position, and I think we went for it.
Ego got in the way there.
He wasn't that cheap either. I think he was about 12 mil.
Yeah,
Quite a bit more, maybe.
I think somebody said 15 mil in the chat there. Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, it was the 2 Norwich fullbacks that surprised everybody when they came up. It was Max Aarons on the right, and it was Jamal Lewis on the left, and everybody thought they were both going to be top dollar, and they didn't really grow into what everybody thought they were going to, unfortunately. And yes, for people who have spotted, Yannick Bolasie is on the opposite team, so you've got crazy blasts from the past in a lot of the Brazil League in Serie A is fantastic to watch. By the way, I'd recommend to anybody who wants to give it a try, go and watch some. Because it is very, very interesting. But we'll leave Jamal Lewis there, unless Billy, you've got any final passing thoughts for Jamal?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Just let him pass. Let him pass.
Literally.
Here we mate. Right. Sorry, Jamal. We are going to close down your SofaScore tab, and we will probably do some comments while we've got Vakhtang Salia on the screen and run through. So, Foxy, Wellington, who's joining Southampton in January, is injured, so Lewis has a chance to get some minutes now in the final league games. So it's not because he's broken into the team, it's because someone got hurt. Well, that's a shame. Fair enough. Best Brazilian I've ever seen, Pele. Well, it's certainly not Jamal Lewis and Lucas Moura, that's for sure. Bolasie in the opposite team. Oh, Wacky Angler. We won't read that one out.
Nice one.
Wacky man.
As long as he's getting paid, good for him. Having a good holiday in Brazil. Yeah, I mean, fair luck to. I mean, whoever his agent is. If I'm ever a footballer, I want Jamal Lewis's agent, because he got to move to Newcastle, and then when it's not really worked out, he's managed to get a Brazilian team. I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Really, instead of dropping down into sort of League One.
Is it a city on itself, or is it one of the Rio teams, or what? I don't know.
I think Sao Paulo struggle a little bit for teams. I think they not the best footballing wise. You know, it tends to be other areas and other teams in Brazil that do a lot better. So I think Sao Paulo are trying to kind of improve in that regard. Right, who shall we do next? We've got 2 J's. We've got a Jamie or a Joe. Who do you want to do next?
Oh, I don't care. I'm happy with either.
Give me a Joe.
We'll go for a Joe. All right, so it is somebody that we've not really talked about in quite a long time, despite being part of quite a lot of matchday squads the back end of last season. And a lot of people might have forgotten about little Joe White. A lot of people also giving him unnecessary, maybe patient opinions, calling him a youth player. He's 22 now, and when he comes back, he's going to be nearly 23. So this is very much, it needs to work now, Joe, or sorry. So he's in that kind of territory now where it's got to work. And one of the concerns I've got is he is playing for McDonald's, Billy, who are in League Two.
Yep, not the most favourable of teams, are they? You know, they're the old Wimbledon club, of course, so people have a lot of attachment to the old Wimbledon club and like the new Wimbledon club. So MK Dons, the franchise team, not really liked by people who don't support MK Dons, I guess.
I think one of the problems
is currently smashing it in the league that he's in the team that he's in. Is he a star player?
I've seen a couple of highlights of games, and we've got some ratings there. I haven't scrolled down yet, but it doesn't look like he's ripping up kind of. Yeah, he's not necessarily doing the business as we would hope, dropping him that many divisions down. Although he did look quite good for Crewe last year. I was hoping he was going to get maybe a different move. Yes, and of course Foxy's pointed out that McDonald's did just lose to Wimbledon in the FA Cup, which was quite funny. And the match I was supposed to be at the other day as well, which was Kettering Cobblers. Funnily enough, Niall Ranger did score the winner in injury time, which is hilarious. I wish I'd gone to that now.
Yeah, on telly, wasn't it?
I know, I had a lot of friends go to that. So yeah, I think the only problem with this, Sam, is we did have Elliot Anderson that we loaned out to a League Two standard team a few years ago, but that was a promotion pushing team who did get promoted in Bristol Rovers, and Elliot Anderson was only about 19 at the time. He was a bit younger, whereas Joe White here is 22, and are they challenging? I'm not really sure they are. We'll have to have a look. So I think it's a bit different there.
I would agree. I think there's that development window where you can, like you said in the intro to Joe, like, you know, you've got that sort of time where you can give a bit of a pass. You know, your ceiling is still there to be reached. 22, nah.
I'm worried about Joe White because I do like him as a player. I watched quite a lot of Crewe Alexandra stuff last year and thought he was playing quite silky. Looks like a good player, but I am concerned that he's not going to be what we need, because we've obviously improved so much, Billy, in the last couple of years with the types of midfielders we've got in the team. It doesn't matter if you look like a handy midfielder; it's not good enough anymore. Like, the standards we've set are enormous, so the youngsters have got to be levels above to even get a sniff nowadays.
He's way down the pecking order, isn't he? I mean, I would say Toon, Miley's ahead of him. And everyone else is in the first team squad, really. You know, he's got to pull some trees up at MK Dons to get even a sniff of a squad place. And I just don't see it personally. Last season when we used him, he was basically used as a hatchet man in the middle of the park, wasn't he? I mean, he came on at the Emirates against Arsenal and basically just kicked a few people, which we hadn't done before that. Fair play to him, but that's basically what he did. And I'm not sure Eddie Howe sees him as a permanent fixture in the squad at all.
Before you move on, Alex, we've got a lovely little super chat here from Nathan, £5. Thank you very much, good sir. Alex, Amber was just saying she thinks you are doing a really good job and she hopes Paul is okay and sends her love. My goodness, Amber, you are adorable. Well done, Alex.
Thank you very much, Amber. Much appreciated. And Nathan, of course. Well, it looks like Joe had quite a good October, at least the start of it. You know, they absolutely smashed Harrogate away. He scored a goal in that 5-1. A 1-1 draw with Tranmere. He got a goal in that. And then it's gone a little bit quieter back end of October, start of November. And of course, there was that quite embarrassing defeat. It does look like he was on the bench for that game, though. So it's not necessarily Joe White's fault. Should we have a look how long he's got left on his contract? Because I think we did maybe extend it for just 1 year. So I don't know if we're going to even get any money for him, or he's just going to end up in a South Shield shirt in a year's time. It's very possible. I saw Lucas de Boll has just signed for them as well. So his contract is, May 2025. So another one that's probably going to end up playing National League football or National League North, which I find I'm a little bit frustrated about, because I think he's maybe got a bit more quality, unless he can find himself a League Two or a League One club. Unless anybody's got anything to support otherwise. Is that Joe White kind of done now? Is he at his time? 22 years old.
Well, what are the stats telling you? By the looks of it.
Well, unfortunately, they don't keep particularly good data for League Two players. Most of that data goes to the club. It's not freely available to members of the public, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll just close that one down. No more Joe White.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
he's going to come to the end of the season. I think he'll be released somewhere. Yeah, I agree.
Well, one of the Miley brothers, of course. They do all keep saying the youngest one is the best, which is quite interesting because I think Lewis and Jamie are both really good footballers. So I'm quite excited for the youngest one. I keep forgetting his name though. I don't know if you guys can remember. But Jamie looked, I thought, really, really good in pre-season. So for anybody who went to some of the pre-season games at St. James's Park, Jamie got quite a lot of minutes, was quite trusted, played on the right side of midfield, put himself about physically, positionally quite disciplined. And I was really impressed with him and thought he might possibly stay with the team, but did get sent out on loan to Newport County. Any thoughts on Jamie Miley before we scroll down and have a look?
Well, he did have an excellent pre-season, didn't he? And I was
Yeah.
kind of, before this pre-season, I was kind of doubting whether he'd have anything within the club. But I think he's been sent out for experience. And I think he may well get a squad place next season, depending on how he does at Newport, of course.
175 centimeters, so not the tallest. He's 5'9" and a bit. So 20 years old. So he's still got a little bit of time on Joe White. What is it, 14th of January? So yeah, in a couple of months' time, he'll be 21. So I think he's got to make this Newport loan really count because he's got to be at that. I reckon the age he is, he needs to be ready when he comes back to try and fight for a place, especially at that kind of age. So he's maybe a year better off than Joe White, and that he's got this opportunity now to try and make this loan count. There's some of his performances. Let's scroll down to his recent stuff for Newport. So I believe he did get injured for a little while. He did have some time out. A decent showing rating-wise against Cheltenham. And then if we scroll down, it is League Two as well. So he didn't play in the FA Cup game. He played most recently 26th of October against Fleetwood, and it didn't get a particularly high rating because he got booked. Although that might not tell the entire story. If we bring up some data, I mean, it looks like he didn't do terrible. 25 out of 33 passes, so quite a lot of loose balls. Didn't manage to find anybody with his 6 attempted long balls. Didn't complete any dribbles. Physicals is we skipped it there. Physicals is a little bit sketchy there. 2 out of 6 ground duels, a little bit meh. So kind of difficult to get much out of the data without having a look at the game. A couple of interceptions as well. Doesn't look like he did a fantastic job. It is rather telling as well when the 2 centre halves have got a really decent rating. So maybe them doing a lot of it.
You've got Bryn Morris up.
Yeah. I always bring up a second player just to shove the other player centrally on the screen for us.
I thought
I'll push him into the centre.
Bryn Morris is crap then.
No, not
And look,
Bryn
we've
Morris.
got the name of the youngest Miley, Leighton. It's Sunderland. Oh dear.
Leighton. No, it's. I don't think it's him I'm talking about. I think there is another one, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's another
Mason.
No,
one.
there can't be another one.
Mason.
Oh.
There's Mason who's in our
Mason.
academy.
Yeah, there is. There's
No.
more. There's loads of them. So
Oh my
Mason,
goodness.
Miley, we've got Mason, Lewis, Jamie, and Leighton apparently.
Mum and Dad Miley,
Or
bravo.
Mrs. Miley.
No TV.
So it's Mason, I think, that Lewis and Jamie always talk about Mason being better than they were at that age. So I think the expectation based on the brothers' opinions is that Mason's going to be fantastic. So, I mean, if he's better than Lewis, then amazing, because Lewis Miley's been really, really good. So this is his performance against Gillingham. How is it? Oh, dear, Jamie, 6 out of 16 passes. He got a long ball. Reasonably good physicals, again, sort of 50% in a tough League Two sort of environment. Again, it is a lot of rough and tumble for somebody who is 20 years old, so I don't think that's terrible physically. I think it's okay. Was fouled once, couple of tackles, couple of interceptions, couple of clearances. Yeah, looks like mature performances. There's not really much more you can go into this unless you go and watch the games and have a look, because it looks like he's playing that kind of role almost like a Longstaff role in a sense, but just doing the physical work and concentrating a lot. There seems to be a lot of that in League Two at the moment. And that is our Jamie Miley. So shall we go through a few comments?
Yeah,
Billy, do you want to run through some comments while I organise all of my screen shares?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it looks like people are talking about the Luffs and Jack jokes and things. Stephen Harker says that Lewis had the little one in our academy is going to be the best, but he's supposed to be more attacking midfielder. Yeah, I just mentioned that. Baz Dowden mentions Shola, our loans agent, can't do better than League Two. That's a fair comment. I mean, Shola has been criticised for how he's done the loan sum, hasn't he? You know, some of the players.
Yeah, and this is it. And if we are trying to, get players up to a certain standard, if they're looking for that development opportunity, because we can't get them around the first team or even on the bench, then really is that the best division to be shoving these players in? If we've seen, a little bit of spark and potential in them, so yeah, it probably is open for criticism.
LG thinks he won't come back. Jamie, he'll be moved on. Interesting. I mean, the midfield is kind of the worst. If you want to play for Newcastle United and you're in the academy, I don't think midfield's the place you want to play, is it? You want to be a defender, really.
Be a right winger.
Yeah, well, right winger, yeah.
When's his contract up? Let's just have a look. Jamie Miley. It is May 2025 as well. Yeah. Him and Joe White. There's a lot of decisions to be made, to be fair, at the end of this season. I mean, I can't remember for the squad who's out of contract. It might be worth bringing that up, to be fair, if you want to do a few more comments.
Yeah, why not? Wacky Angler says basically need 3 more backup defenders, a left back, a right back, and centre back, as well as a right winger and a striker, and possibly the keeper once Dubravka goes. That's without the backup squad players going to be a busy few windows.
No, just get all the Mileys in. It's fine.
Yes, get Papa Miley to put some more hard Mileys in.
Why?
Ben says, imagine if we had 4 Mileys and 2 Murphys in our team, a commentator's nightmare. Actually, it's the opposite, isn't it? It's Miley to Miley to Miley. It's like commentating on the Croatian team or the Russian team in the World Cup. They all have the same name. Antas is having a problem with his dog with the fireworks, I guess. Yeah, it's
bloody
nice
awful. I honestly,
time, yeah.
It's really upsetting my little girls. It's awful.
It's not a nice time of year
feel
for
you.
dogs.
No.
A lot of people saying Joe White has got a contract until 2027. Fair enough. Maybe it's not been updated then. So if that is the case, then maybe there is a plan for him, or maybe there's a plan to try and get a transfer fee, or we think he's going to be good enough. I don't know. There's not room for Jamie Lewis and Joe White and the current midfielders, though.
No.
Even with Anderson having left.
We've got ones coming up from the youth as well, have you, like Munda and people like that, who I think are going to be special players.
Well, hopefully we can. If people do have to leave, it'd be nice to get a transfer fee for people, because I'm sick of us having these players on the bench. Like Lucas De Bol, for one, who looked quite like a tidy young player, just released on a free and then goes to play for South Shields. It's just, I feel like these players, no disrespect to some of the local smaller, like non-league Northeast clubs and the clubs in the National League North and the National League, but to watch them play in sort of pre-season fixtures and being around senior players and look okay in parts, it's sometimes difficult to see them drop 5 divisions. I feel like maybe they've taken a bit of a hit there. Maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe it's, I mean, people in the chat, possibly Sam, you might know better than myself, and possibly better than Billy. I don't want to speak for him. Do some of these players maybe drop more divisions than they should to stay in the area? Because surely these guys who have been through a top academy, or at least a good academy for a long time, to drop down into the National League North seems like a big drop to me.
It's a really hard one to call, and obviously we can't speak for people, but I think that the ties to your local area, there's so much pride in what we do, and we say about dropping down and playing for the more local teams despite them being in divisions below. It's still honourable. It's still a really great thing to be able to play for one of the local clubs. So that could be the reason. Home ties already think it could be that they just don't want to move away, or they think they're getting maybe the game time that they want. Maybe it is enough for these lads. I think my problem with it is, why aren't we getting enough out of them to maybe reach the potential that we initially saw in them? Like, again, to the point point I was making before. Like, we know that our training facilities haven't been the best. You know, the coaching staff has been all over the place. And yes, we've recently recruited in that regards. But this shouldn't just be about a money-making scheme, because can you imagine being one of those lads and then being shoved so many leagues below where you've had the opportunity sharing with your mates that you're in, you know, Newcastle United, and then you bump down 5 leagues? Jeez, it's got to hurt. And how do you recover from that?
I mean,
it's a big drop.
SJP Dave says here, Michael Ndewini went on trial at Workington Red, which is northwest, and didn't want to travel. He's the one that went to Loch Ness somewhere, didn't he? Did he go somewhere in Scotland, somewhere third tier of Scotland football?
Oh yeah, he banged in a load of goals for the youth team, and then we thought, hello, we might have someone. We watched a couple of games, and then we saw that he'd gone to, I can't remember the name of the team now, but he got loaned out to a third tier team in Scotland, and you just think, oh well, there you go. That answers that question. Then there's no point in really reviewing him anymore, because he's not going to be part of the first team ever, is he? I know you get the odd crazy story like Jamie Vardy and stuff coming from non-league, but it's not very often that happens. And yeah, it's just a very, very sad topic. A few people talking about Harrison Ashby saying he's been released. No, he's still around. He's at QPR on loan. I tell you what, you have reminded me. We were meant to be doing everybody that's out on loan. I completely forgot that Harrison Ashby existed. So sorry, Harrison.
But thank you for your contributions.
Wow, I mean, he's not been great, has he? Oh dear.
I've just taken me sexy specs off, man. Are we starting again?
We are. Sorry, we've got one more to look at. We can't do a loan watch and not look at Harrison Ashby. Oh no, I'll be in the WhatsApp group saying I've missed Harrison out. Yeah, sorry guys. There he is. Right, Harrison Ashby.
There we go.
There's an injury. I think we saw him a little bit. He was in a lot of the videos in pre-season, getting on planes and doing stuff, but I don't remember him playing football. I think he came on in some of the pre-season games, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
Scroll back and have a look. I swear I remember him playing. He played in the All-Stars game where we got absolutely battered 8-0.
That was awful.
No, he didn't play in that.
He played. Oh no, he didn't play in that. No, it says he. Why is there a yellow card symbol? He got booked.
He didn't play
from the bench, I think.
Wowza!
Good effort. And then he played in the Tottenham game. It looks like he probably came on as a sub and then didn't get used in the other preseason fixtures. Right, if we scroll up, that was his Swansea loan last year, and now he's at QPR. It looks like he is getting involved. Not the best ratings, with the best one coming against Burnley, 26th of October. Where is he? He started as a left back. Wow, that's not where we want him, is it? That's not very good. Harrison Ashby. Looks like he did okay in this game. 9 clearances, 5 out of 11 ground duels, won his only aerial. Yeah, really, really tidy for this game. Looks like they were under the cosh quite a bit. Obviously, Burnley quite a good side for that division. So looks like he had to put a lot of hard work in. But a lot of the overall ratings seem a little bit meh. And of course, now we've got Livramento and Lewis Hall in at fullback. The future doesn't look massively bright for Harrison Ashby. I mean, how old is he now? He's at that age, 14th of November. So he's about to turn 23, guys. He's 23 in about, what's the date? So the 4th. He's 23 in 10 days. So he's going to come back and he'll be 23 and a half. And if you're 23 and a half and you're nowhere near Premier League standard yet, I think that might be, the fat lady might be singing.
I think the fact we went after him to be back up to Trippier and Kraft is going to be the next tax on the rank, and then the next transfer window, we then bought another right back. Speaks volumes.
Oh, we're glad we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is Scottish as well, so it's fine. He's not going to play for England. He might actually get capped if he improves. Oh, he's got dual citizenship. He's playing for the Scotland under 21s. Fair enough.
I think his dad plays.
Yeah, potentially.
Barry Ashby.
Yeah.
He's played for Watford.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Harrison Ashby is the son of Barry Ashby. It doesn't look like, his contract 2025 as well. Yeah, I think we very well could see him leave, unfortunately. So, That is a shame because he looked really good when we first did some reviews on him when he joined us. There was quite a lot of impressive footage from him at West Ham in the youth setup. It just looks like he's not really progressed since then, unfortunately. And again, the loans just don't seem to be working. I mean, we didn't send him down to League Two; we sent him to the Championship. So he's had Swansea and QPR, but doesn't look overly impressive. So the last thing I got up, guys, is the contracts expiring at the end of the season. So I thought it was worth having a cheeky little look at this because it might kind of allude to what we're going to do with loanees coming back and transfers. So there's a few on here.
I have to interrupt you just for a second because I didn't actually look at date of birth. I thought that was when the contract was signed. Apologies, I'm still recovering from illness here. I was like, oh, these make sense. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, Lascelles, Gillespie, Dubravka, they've been with us for a long time. But
right, they're doing well. Jeez. Carry on.
So, I count 3 defenders there, Billy. Fabian Schär, Jamal Lascelles, Emil Kraft.
Yeah.
We can't lose 3 people in those kinds of positions because all 3 of them can play right-sided centre-half and one of them is kind of a right-back. I know we don't want to keep everybody, but we can't lose all 3 of them all at once.
Absolutely not. Which ones do you keep there? I mean, Fabian Schär is showing signs of his age now. Jamal Lascelles might not be the same player when he comes back. Who knows? Emil Kraft is the one that's really I'd be wanting to give a new contract to. Potentially Fabian Schär on top, but we definitely need to be signing someone in that position this winter or summer. I'll get rid of all 3 of the keepers and buy another goalkeeper. And I'll give Sean a contract extension, and I think Callum Wilson's going to be out the door. That's my opinion on it all.
You got a different take on that from Billy, Sam?
I probably don't. I think I would really like to see Shaw getting a return to form. It doesn't seem like it was too far in the distant memory that he was so reliable and putting in the thunderbolts for us. So yeah, like attitude wise recently is what's really concerning for me. It just seems like that international break during the Euros, he's not returned as the same player since he's retired from international duty. So we know that he's got close ties to his old club. I think he's got a directorship or something, so the nest is definitely being feathered for his retirement age. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Alex,
indeed.
are we doing Pivas? So what's he called? Pivas.
It is Pivas indeed. Yeah,
Pivas.
people are pointing that out. Yeah, sorry guys, I wasn't expecting Paul to not be here, so I've had to. I don't normally have to do all my behind the scenes stuff and do this bit. I probably should have let Billy do the hosting, but never mind.
No, you carry on, mate. You're doing a sterling job, sir.
Man. Yeah, class.
I'm quite happy
Anyway.
to see him scratching me, whatever.
Jeez.
Nearly said knackers then. Oops.
And there we go.
And on that note, where is he? There he is.
Miodrag up.
Boy. Miodrag Pivas. He sounds like a knight, doesn't he?
He does.
Sounds like he needs Sir in front of his name.
Oh
So
yeah, I like
Miodrag
that.
Pivas.
So he's at Willem II Tilburg. Of course, we did have a little look at his stuff on a show like last week. I think we had a cheeky little look because we couldn't resist. I know there was a lot of drama with Lee Ryder's Chronicle article about stating that, I can't remember what it was. The headline was something along the lines of Newcastle's transfer ban, which is obviously nonsense. It was to do with Pivas not getting a visa or something to do with being able to go to a club. That got sorted, whatever it was, and he's now been able to play there. So I don't know how he's getting such good ratings whilst also being injured at the same time. I think SofaScore's gotten confused there as well. There's an injury symbol there. So he is a 19-year-old centre half. He is right-footed and he's quite tall. He's 188. What's that in proper money? I don't know. It's over 6 foot.
About 6'3".
Sure.
About 6'3", I'd say.
It's well over 6 foot. So for a 19-year-old centre half, he is he's rather tall. So he's got the right attributes physically already. And I do love that the league he's in is called the Mozart League. That's fantastic. Let's go down and have a look. I know that was the league he was in before. So now he's in the Eredivisie, of course, at Willem II. So recent games, he's done some quite interesting stuff. Was it the cup game that it was an absolute crazy game, this one? I believe it was this cup game. So he got taken off just before full time because it did go to extra time. Let's bring on Pivas there. So yeah, he played 91 minutes, and because it did go to extra time, he got replaced. As you can see, crazy heat map there on the right side as a centre half. Not afraid to step into midfield. He did make one error that led to a shot from the opposition. Definitely taking up Fabian Scher's job there. One interception. Physicals are okay. 2 out of 4 ground duels, 1 out of 4 aerials. We could do with maybe that being a bit better, especially for a centre half who is 6'3". And in terms of passing and touches of the ball, well, that is ridiculous. I thought this was inflated because he played extra time. He didn't. He went off after the 91st minute. So that's pretty crazy. 121 touches of the ball for a 19-year-old centre half. And that many passes to get 96% is quite outrageous. 107 out of 112 passes, even if it's only 2-yard passes. You know, he's tried a lot of long balls as well. You've got 6 attempted long balls and he's made 5 of them. So he's contributed with getting the ball forward and finding teammates as well. So presumably got some good vision. But it is only one game, so it's a small sample size. So we will have a look at the other game, which I don't know. He was on the bench for the most recent game. He did play against Ajax in a narrow 1-0 defeat. How did he do against Ajax? I know Ajax have obviously struggled recently.
Not this season, though, that's what I don't think. I think they're top this season.
Oh, have they gone back to form? Have they? I've not really looked at the Eredivisie this season. It doesn't look like he started the game. Did he come on late? He did. Okay, fair enough. He only played a handful of minutes then, so we can't really count it. Yeah, he came on and got a couple of clearances and was very tidy with the ball. Fair enough. It's what you want from the young man. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's not much more to show you about Pivas because he didn't get to play until all the kind of visa stuff got sorted, but has been doing well in the few games he's played since he's been there. So we'll definitely keep an eye on him. So keep an eye on the Eredivisie. Of course, getting some fantastic ratings before he moved there for Jedinstvo in the Mozart Bet Prva Liga, which I think Prva is first league. So yeah, fantastic stuff from him from Serbia. They haven't given him a picture yet on Transfermarkt. Unfortunately, somebody needs to put a picture up for him. He is capped 7 times for the Serbian under-17s team. And if we scroll down, yeah, he's not worth an awful lot at the moment. But again, it's a good pickup for people who don't remember. This is the guy who was spotted outside the club shop.
Didn't he get some good accolades? Like people were starting to tweet about him and stuff, and like people were saying that he's definitely going to be one to watch. He probably looks the most promising, I think, that we've looked at this evening.
He does, although Foxy does like to urinate all over my chips quite regularly and just say it was a Dutch team from the 4th tier. Yeah, no, I know, but he's still got to do the passing and find the player with the long ball. So I'm going to take it for a 19-year-old. I think it was still fine. But yeah, the whole point of this is for him to be on loan for the season and to just let him develop. But there's a couple of good ones there in Salia, the Georgian, and Pivas. A couple of decent pickups in the youth setup, and whether they end up in the black and white, I don't think it really matters. They're either going to make us money or end up in a black and white shirt. So it's meant to be win-win, isn't it? That's the whole point in it. So
Sure.
I'm quite happy with that situation.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Pivas progresses because he looks quite promising, I have to say.
Easy for you to say.
I couldn't say
it. Sam, have we got Lasses coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be a great show tomorrow. Aaron and I are going to be back with you 8 p.m. tomorrow night. We're going to be doing a little bit about the England Lionesses after the international break. We also have the nail-biting review to do against Birmingham Blues, so do check that one out as well. Can't wait to get in touch with Aaron and find out her professional opinions because that was a tough watch. So yeah, join us tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so make sure you do like and subscribe, so you'll be notified for tomorrow's show. Make sure to click the little notification bell down below. We do have another super chat before we disappear from Jimmy
Look at
Bart. Thank you very
that.
much. Morning, lads and Lady Sam. Going back to start to watch before work. Still cheering after that win. Away the lads and lasses. Yeah, I mean, wins all across the board. Wins for the lasses, for the youth team, and for the men's team. So fantastic weekend for everybody involved. Thank you very much again for that super chat. So yeah, make sure you do like and subscribe, guys. If you haven't done already, please come back for the lasses show tomorrow. We've got loads more shows this week. Paul will hopefully be back with us very, very shortly, so hopefully he's okay. But thank you everybody for joining us. Until next time, Billy, do you want to see us out?
Yeah, away the lads and lasses.